Most guys get this completely wrong. They have unrealistic ideas about how this applies in the real world, and it just ends up working against them in the long run. What's up guys, Sean Nalawani, RealScienceAthletics.com, and in this video today, a bit of a different topic. We're going to discuss the question of which body type women find most attractive, and I'm going to give you my thoughts on this subject. Reason being that when a lot of guys get into lifting, becoming more attractive to women is a lot of the time one of their primary motivations, and as somebody who's been in the gym consistently for a very long time now, coming up on 20 years now, and who's had every physique type imaginable, from a really lean, sub 10% body fat in the low 160s, up to a more middle ground body fat and middle ground muscularity between about 170 to 180 pounds, which is where I'm at now, up to a bulkier bodybuilder type of physique around 190 pounds, a bear mode physique in the low 200s, and of course a sloppy, sweaty, full-on dirty bulked 230 pounds with a very high body fat percentage and pale, saggy man titties to go along with it. Okay, because of my experience with having all of these different physique types, I wanted to give you my personal insight on this topic. Now, before I jump into it, if you're new to the channel, don't forget to hit that subscribe button below to stay in the loop on all of my future videos. And if you like this type of content where I talk about these sort of lifestyle topics besides just the mechanics of proper training and nutrition, then hit that like button below to let me know. The more likes there are on the video, the more likely I'll be to do these sorts of videos again in the future. So what I would say first and foremost in response to this question of which body type will make you most attractive to women, whether it's the lean, aesthetic Hollywood type of look or a more muscular, bulkier type of look, or something in between, I would say that it actually does not matter nearly as much as you might think, and I wouldn't recommend that you base the end goal of your training around what you think is going to make women like you the most. And there are a few important reasons for this. Okay, the first reason is that body type preferences can differ quite a bit between different women. This is really something that I've learned over the years from my own observation and my own interactions. There's really no such thing as one type of ideal physique in the first place. Some women prefer a leaner, more athletic look. Some like guys who carry a bit more muscle. Some like the bigger, fluffier look and find that to be more masculine and more attractive, even if you don't have a single ab in sight. And some even prefer a more slender build, like a swimmer's body type, for example, a type of physique that most people in the online fitness community would classify as do you even lift status. So no matter what type of physique you have, assuming you're within a healthy body fat range, okay, if your boobs are hanging lower than hers, she's probably not going to be very into that.
Oh, do you find me sexy?
But if you're within a healthy body fat range and you're carrying some noticeable muscle so that it's obvious that you work out, which is a signal that you're healthy and you take care of yourself, there's always going to be a percentage of women out there who consider that to be their preferred type and a percentage who don't. Now, that said, if your goal was to cast the widest net possible, then probably I would say a middle ground aesthetic / athletic look, that's probably going to appeal to the highest percentage overall, meaning some decent muscular development, but not over the top, and some visible muscle definition, but also not excessively lean. I'd say probably somewhere between about 10 to 14% body fat. That would probably appeal most to the average woman out there. On average, women tend to lean towards a more natural look. And if you're excessively muscular or you're excessively lean, it will actually be considered less attractive. Again, on average, okay, keep that phrase in mind because again, there are still plenty of women all over the map with varying preferences. And if you're just going out consistently and meeting different people, then you're going to come across all different types of women. So if I had to give one answer to this question and the goal was to be as attractive as possible across the board, then the middle ground athletic / athletic look, that's probably going to be ideal as opposed to being absolutely shredded or looking like a full-on bodybuilder. However, the other thing to consider too is that if you do have a more sort of polarizing physique, like a very muscular bodybuilder look, for example, yeah, some women are not going to be a fan of that. They're going to think that you look too big. But then for that percentage of women who are into that sort of look, usually those are the girls who are really into fitness themselves. They're really going to like it because it's less common and it stands out. So casting a wider net isn't necessarily the only strategy, okay? You can either go wide with more moderate appeal to a larger audience, or you can specialize and really appeal strongly to a narrower audience. And as long as you're a reasonably social person and you're going out and meeting people regularly, you're still gonna have plenty of success both ways. And let me know in the comments what your personal approach is with this and how it's worked for you. Okay, is there a specific body type that you found gives you the highest degree of success with women in dating, or is it something that you personally just don't really care about? And if you're a female and you're watching this, then comment below in terms of what your personal preference is. So the first reason to not obsess over this question is because as long as you are in shape in general, then you're always going to have a target market no matter what. Now, the second reason why I wouldn't recommend getting overly wrapped up in this question is that on average, the real truth is that most women don't actually care about your physique as much as you might think. Okay, some do, and so it will help with those women, but on average, it's not as critical a factor as you've been led to believe by a lot of fitness marketers out there. In fact, other guys at the gym or in social gatherings, they're probably the ones who are paying the most attention to your physique rather than the women. In general, your physique is really just one small piece of what makes up your overall attractiveness as a man, and there are a lot of other factors that come into play. Okay, facial features, height, socioeconomic status, confidence, basic obvious things like your hygiene, how you dress, and also very importantly, just the general chemistry that you have with another person. Depending on how your personalities match up. If you meet someone and you have that natural chemistry with them, then your exact physique type is not going to be some sort of critical deciding factor. It just isn't. Okay, I'm 34 now and I've observed more than enough social interactions over the past 20 years to know this for sure. In fact, some of the guys that I know who have had the most success with women were not in any sort of overly impressive physical shape. So your physique is just one piece of the overall equation, and I would say that it's actually a smaller factor than most guys who first get into lifting realize. Again, I'm speaking on average here, okay? Some women really do love when a guy is lean and muscular and in great shape, and it will have a bigger effect on them. But on average, across the entire population at large, it's really not as important as you might think. And then the third thing that I would say is that paradoxically, if you're obsessing over your physique and you're revolving everything that you do in the gym around trying to make women like you, then I would say that you're actually operating from the wrong mindset to begin with, and that's probably going to come through in your interactions because you're in such an approval-seeking mindset. And that's something that women are definitely not attracted to. Obviously, it's completely normal to take those external steps to improve your sexual market value in terms of your appearance and your finances and your lifestyle and all that stuff. But it also shouldn't be something that you're completely obsessing over. Otherwise, you're just not in the right frame of mind. You're stuck in that full-on approval-seeking mode. And that's going to hurt your chances a lot more than whether you are 10% body fat versus 15%, or whether your arms are 15 inches versus 17 inches. So what you want to do is take those external steps, those external actions to improve yourself, but to not get overly attached to them either. It's just something that you're doing as part of your overall life, but at the end of the day, you are okay with yourself regardless.
It's important in life if you don't give a shit. It can help you a lot.
Not to mention that if you're living the lonesome bodybuilder lifestyle, which I've done in the past where I was literally doing nothing except training and working, that's fine for temporary periods if you're really trying to focus and excel in those areas. But if you're spending all your free time in the gym and thinking that you're some sort of badass because you're doing deadlifts at 10:30 p.m. on a Friday night while everybody else is out and about.
I am responsible for my dreams. I am responsible for my results. Because I am the only one who can stop me from turning my dreams into a reality. I have the power to make my dream happen. I have the choice to decide if I will work hard for it.
And you have this silly idea in your head, you've bought into the marketing that if you just get into great shape, then all the women are going to come flocking to you. I can promise you nothing is going to happen. Your social skills and your social confidence are just going to gradually degrade, and you're going to become more and more isolated, and it doesn't matter how good you look or how much money you're making, you're not going to meet anybody, and even if you do, you'll have spent so much time alone and will be so stuck in your head that you won't even be able to have a normal interaction.
Oh, sorry, no, not you. Hi, how are you doing?
Good, how are you?
Okay, see.
And as somebody who is naturally more on the introverted side and has essentially removed himself from society in the past so that he could focus 100% on training and working, trust me, I have been there. Rule number one, if you want to have success with women in dating, is that you have to leave the house. You actually have to go out and socialize, as revolutionary as that advice might seem. Not only because that gives you opportunities to meet people, but also for the sake of keeping your social skills intact or improving your social skills if you are someone who's naturally more on the shy or awkward side. So forget this idea that you're going to mold the perfect physique and then all of a sudden become some sort of dating powerhouse. It can definitely help you. And like I said before, a temporary phase of single-pointed focus is fine. But all in all, obsessing over your physique is not the way to become successful in this area. maximize your appearance, yes, but you actually have to go out and interact with people as well. And just to end this on a practical note, all I would say is that physique-wise, what truly does matter and what truly will affect your success with women is that you're simply within a healthy body fat range. So ideally, no higher than 18 to 20% maximum. If you are overweight and if you're carrying a significant amount of excess fat, then yes, that absolutely is going to negatively impact your attractiveness. Not to say that you can't still attract a certain segment of women if you are carrying more fat, but your success definitely will increase significantly if your body fat is at a healthy level. And then on the other end of the spectrum, if you're significantly on the thinner side, again, not some sort of deal breaker across the board. Some girls won't really care, but if you are quite thin and then you go ahead and add some solid muscle to your overall frame, that is going to help you out overall as well by allowing you to appear more physically dominant. So my basic recommendation to tie this all together is to train consistently, eat well, be within a healthy body fat range, and carry some noticeable muscle mass so that it's obvious that you work out, because that is a signal that you have self-discipline and you take care of yourself. But that beyond those basic things, where your physique specifically falls on the spectrum of size and leanness, that should be based on what you most prefer, where you're most comfortable, what makes you feel the best, and what puts you in the best frame of mind, not what you think is going to make women like you the most. Most guys get this completely wrong. They have unrealistic ideas about how this applies in the real world, and it just ends up working against them in the long run. Again, women have varying preferences to begin with. They generally don't care about your physique as much as you might think, and placing too much of your energy on your physique is just a misallocation of your effort if success with women in dating is a primary goal for you. If you did find this advice helpful and you want to get access to a free step-by-step program to achieve the type of physique that you most prefer, including a weekly training routine, meal plan, and supplement recommendations, then make sure to head over to seannall.com/custom, fill out the form there, and I'll personally hook you up with a customized plan based on your current condition and your experience level. You can click up here for that or use the link in the description box below. On the supplementation side of things, you can also visit realscienceathletics.com to check out my science-based, no BS supplements that I personally formulated to help you fully streamline your program and optimize your overall progress. And you can use coupon code YouTube15 to save 15% off your entire first order. You can follow me over on Instagram as well for more daily tips at Sean Nalawani. And as always, make sure to hit that like button, leave a comment, and subscribe below if you haven't already in order to stay up to date on future videos. Thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you in the next one.